Hello, hello, and welcome to another Hot Topics live stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Sorry I'm a little late. Had to get my stuff together. Let me know if you guys can hear me by pushing one in the chat. Let me know if my mic is okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, y'all in the building. If my mic is okay. Okay, the mic sounds good on my end. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, y'all. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about the Swifties pulling up Kayla Nicole's old tweets and running her off of Twitter or X. Um, and we're also going to talk about some other things. But before we continue, I have been doing weekly content for Neptunian members and patrons. So if you're interested in watching my exclusive videos, exclusive live streams, we have fun back there. So if you're interested, the links to join the Neptunians is in the description box. I will be doing more exclusive content in the near future, and I'm going to keep doing it over and over because I just feel it's more peaceful and more intimate. It's a more peaceful, intimate setting, my exclusive content. So I have been really enjoying it. The women who are back there and who watch the content and who support me have really been enjoying it. And I appreciate all of your support. So if you're interested in joining, the links are in the description box. Now, let's get into tonight's topic. So, recently, Miss Kayla Nicole has been I should say exposed. I don't know if I should say exposed because according to what you guys are telling me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, um these tweets have already been shared, which I didn't know anything about them. But apparently these tweets that the Swifties are exposing of Kayla have already been exposed. In the past, Kayla has apologized for them. I don't know if that's true. You guys can let me know in the chat. Yeah, y'all are saying Kayla was already dragged about it. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna show some of the tweets, the old tweets, and this was back in 2010, y'all. So these are pretty old tweets. They're not new. This is back when Twitter was the wild, wild west. Okay, everybody was. It just seemed like everybody was so unhinged on Twitter, right? But Kayla was dragging everybody. I mean, she was dragging fat people. She was dragging Indian people. She was dragging disabled people, gay people. She said a lot of things about black people, specifically black men. Now this, I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of small, and I apologize, but this is the copy that was sent to me. Excuse me. And I tried to do my research and find some better like copies of the tweets, but obviously everything was gone because it's been deleted. Like they literally ran her off of Twitter or off of X. So I couldn't actually go pull these myself. By the time I got to it, they were gone. So these are the copies that I got. I'm not sure where I mean, again, okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if all these are even real. I'm just gonna assume that they're real. But one of the main tweets that I personally did not like, and the one that I cared about the most, was when it says here, I don't know if she was talking to a black woman, I don't know, but it says if your twit profile look like one of them black blobs from Pac-Man, you're hashtag too black for Twitter and ugly. So obviously very colorist. Now all this other stuff about all these other groups of people, y'all know how I am. I'm not for caping for people who are not going to cape for me. So that's their fight, where she was on here talking about black men and all this stuff. Like, I don't really have nothing to do with that. Okay. But here's the thing. The only reason the Swifties care about this is because they got mad at Kayla's Toni Braxton Halloween video. Y'all know she was looking real good in that video. It was a clapback to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift shaded Kayla Nicole and her music. I did a video on that. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. But this was just them trying to get revenge, right? So this is fake outrage. They're not really upset about this. They just want to attack Kayla because they're Swifties, because they like Taylor, right? They're jealous of Kayla. All the internet has been comparing Kayla to Taylor, saying Kayla looks better, all this stuff, right? And that Travis downgraded, all this stuff, right? So the Swifties really aren't liking that, right? So that is what their issue is, right? But here's the thing. Here's what I want to say to Black women. I also don't necessarily think, even if you're not completely outraged by this, because I'm not, I'm just going to be honest, I'm not. I still don't think Black women as a group should be jumping to defend Kayla. This is one of those situations where I personally think that Black women should stay neutral. That's my opinion. I just think this is one of those situations where, even if you don't want to jump in with the white people and attack the Black woman, you don't necessarily have to jump and defend the Black woman either if she was caught doing some fuck shit. And I just really wish that Black women would learn how to not take sides in this kind of situation. Yes, these are all the tweets. And she was dragging everybody. And see, what I don't understand is this. And this is where, I got to talk to Black women. It's interesting to me how some Black women were more outraged by these tweets than y'all were outraged about Kayla dancing with an abusive colorist entertainer, Chris Brown. That's my whole thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is one of those situations where, if Kayla is colorist, that's not a surprise to me. If she's still colorist, if she still holds these beliefs, right? And I say it wouldn't be surprising to me because she just got done grinding on stage with a colorist Black man. So, Black women, when you see these kind of things happen, when you see these Black women who aren't necessarily, because I consider Kayla to be brown skin, okay? Who aren't necessarily dark skin, and they're teaming up with colorists and not really giving a fuck about how those colorists treat dark skinned Black women, you should think to yourself, hey, this person may also be colorist. That's what you should automatically think to yourself. It shouldn't take you seeing a tweet from years and decades ago, right? For you to say, oh, she's colorist or she's anti-Black woman. Like, you should already think that when they're on stage dancing with colorist men and when they're teaming up with colorist people. Like, that should be pretty obvious, right? And this is why I keep telling y'all, and this is why I told y'all in my videos that I did about Kayla and Chris Brown, y'all look crazy celebrating this. You look crazy celebrating this Black woman, this brown skinned Black woman up here grinding on stage with a colorist Black male. It's like, how many times do Black women have to get egg on their faces for you to understand that you're supporting colorist people? Because I recall that a lot of Black women got mad at my video that I did about Kayla and Chris Brown. Y'all were mad at me. Oh, Chrissy, she was just having fun. She was just dancing. It's not that big of a deal. Right? And now when these tweets get exposed and it shows that she used to be colorist or is still colorist, then you want to be outraged about it. Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, I did it for the brown girls." No, you didn't. You did it for yourself. Right? And so Kayla, Kayla is about Kayla. You know what I mean? This is not a all black woman thing. This is, oh no, we should all come together and rally behind Kayla and defend her because all the white women are picking on her. No, Kayla, it's time for Kayla to defend herself. And it's been time for Kayla to defend herself. Mm-hmm. Mariah says everyone's colorist until proven otherwise. I 100% agree. Yeah, and I definitely don't agree with black women, making this a, oh, this is a all black woman problem thing. It's not. It's a Kayla thing. This is her battle to fight. Now, yeah, sure. Can we call out the white people who are being racist and, all that stuff? Because there is some underlying racism there against Kayla, right? We can acknowledge that for sure. But, do we need to, be Kayla's attack dog? No. No. I don't think that I think that her showing up to dance with a colorist abusive man like Chris Brown was like a slap in black women's face. Even, let's just say that she no longer believes what she said in any of these tweets. Let's just say that she is genuinely a changed person. That does not change the fact that she just got done dancing with that abusive man on stage. That was recent, okay? These tweets are old. That situation was recent. And what I'm trying to tell black women is that y'all are backwards. Y'all be outraged about the wrong thing. I'm not saying that you can't, like, obviously there are black people who do fall in, the demographics of the people that, she was talking about in these tweets. Like, obviously there are gay black people, black women, so I'm not saying that you shouldn't be offended by any of this. Like, I don't want to say that, but I mean, you can be, that's fine. However, I just feel like that Chris Brown situation held a lot more weight. And you can't pay me to give a fuck about this shit right here. Because this was about black men. That's the black men's fight. And see, that's another thing. Like, a lot of y'all think that you can't compartmentalize things the way I do. When I'm like, that's their fight, this is our fight. But you absolutely can. Black men do it all the time. Other races of people do it all the time. Do you think if Kayla was white, or if this was, Taylor Swift and her old tweets that came out and she was talking shit about, do you think they would really care? No, they wouldn't. Right? If Taylor Swift was talking about black people, do you think these same fans would be jumping up and be like, oh my God, she's so wrong? You think they would cancel Taylor Swift? No, they wouldn't. So what I'm not going to do, and I'm also not going to cape for or groups of people who don't cape for us. I know she dissed Indian people. I don't see Indian people coming out collectively defending black women or black people. I don't see them doing that. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not about to cape for them in this situation. Sorry. No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Only thing I'm worried about is what she said about black women. That's the only thing I care about in this situation. Some of y'all might get mad about that. That's the only thing I care about, because that's the only thing that personally affects me. Okay. But I can't find any fucks to give about this right here. I can't find any fucks to give. I don't have any fucks to give about this. That's black men's fight. I don't give a fuck. Because do you think, where are the black men? That's another thing. I don't see any black men talking about this and defending black women. Do you? Do y'all see any black men doing videos on TikTok or on YouTube saying, oh, look what Kayla Nicole said about black women? That's fucked up. I don't see a lot of black men doing that. At least not heterosexual black men. So yeah, no, this stuff I don't really care about. Um this is the stuff where I'm like, okay, Kayla, what was this about? And the reason why, it's like, okay, yeah, you apologized, Kayla, but you were still recently dancing with a colorist. So I'm not sure. I'll say it like this. I'm not sure if she has been completely has she I'm not sure that she's completely recovered from her old colorist ways. I'm going to put it like that. And to be honest, it's not surprising to me. Again, if you were just dancing on stage with an abusive colorist man, then chances are you're probably still colorist. And we've already talked about how a lot of brown skinned women, they other themselves, especially nowadays. Like, we see a lot of these channels online, pretending to be mixed race women and they're actually brown skinned women. We see a lot of them today separating themselves from dark skinned women, so it's not far fetched. So what I'm saying is, ladies, you don't have to defend Kayla in the name of black womanhood, because apparently she may still be othering herself from you. I'm not saying that she is, but it's highly likely that she does. That she's doing that. Still. And so, since that appears to be the case, I personally wouldn't be jumping up to defend her against the Swifties. Yeah, that's the last tweet. Mm-hmm. And, I just feel like in general, I have to say this. Kayla is a bird, to be honest. She's just kind of weird to me. There was one tweet in here. I don't remember which one it was or which screenshot it is. But she said something about how being with a man who's taken is better because it's the competition thing. Like, so Kayla, I don't know. And then the reason why I say I feel like she's still kind of like that is because you know what she did with Tiana Taylor, where she dressed up as her for Halloween to try to like get back at Iman. So she seems like that type of girl that kind of likes to date men who are taken, kind of like Ariana Grande. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like they get a kick out of dating unavailable men or taking men from other women, kind of thing, or competing with women for men, kind of like how Taylor Swift is doing too. Yeah, see down here at the bottom, this bottom right tweet, it says hashtag I confess. A taken man is more attractive than a single one. I don't know. Something about the competition. I don't know. She still gives that to me. She still gives that to me. Very much still gives, you know, competition mode. And, I still like, because I said in the last live stream, I said, I'm not really mad at her kind of tagging Taylor back with that he wasn't man enough for me video, because Taylor Swift did shade her in the music. But if she continues to go on after this, I'm going to be heavily side-eyeing her. Because it's like, girl, okay, you got your lick back. I understand, but now it's time to move on. So I really hope that she moves on from this. Like, she should never mention Travis ever again in any interviews, Taylor, anybody ever again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these girls are off the chain. Yeah, y'all are talking about Ariana Grande. Yeah, Ariana is the worst. She's super talented, but what she gets away with is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, storyline is getting stale. I 100% agree. Like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of the back and forth. It's getting old now. And then these tweets, like, why didn't Kayla think about this? I understand, like, maybe she wanted to like stand on business and leave the tweets up and say, I'm about that life and I apologize, so they're just gonna disappear. Girl, no. You supposed to delete your motherfucking Twitter. You supposed to do this a long time ago. You supposed to delete all these tweets a long time ago. Because people will bring them up and repost them when it's most convenient. And the Swifties knew exactly what they were doing. This was their perfect get back. And Kayla just, it's just like she fell into it. Like, and this could have been avoided, completely avoided. All she had to do was wipe her Twitter clean. That's it. I don't know why these celebrities don't do that. Like, it doesn't matter if you come out and apologize for it beforehand. No, remove all of your shit. And it seems like everybody is getting exposed. Tyler, the Creator, recently got exposed. Was it Gigi Hadid? It's like, delete your shit. I don't, somebody in the chat can tell me when she apologized. I don't know. That's just what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Kayla apologized. I didn't even know these tweets existed, but according to the girls, they're saying that these tweets had already resurfaced. She already apologized for it. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I deleted. Well, it's not that I really said anything outrageous on my Twitter anyway, but baby, my Twitter been gone. Okay, it's been gone. And it's not even to say, I think, because, Kayla was probably, in her 20s when she was tweeting all this stuff. So we've all said things that in our 20s that, were probably stupid and dumb. So, you know what I mean? And I'm definitely more forgiving of women than men who do this. Like, I'm just going to keep it real. I'm more forgiving of women than men because I feel like women actually usually have the capacity to change more than men. So, but it is what it is. Jay says Kayla is also friends with podcast co-host Winter Blanco, who always blames the black community for her biracial identity issues. I'ma mind my business. See, I didn't know that. And so it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Kayla. But I think my main takeaway, and what I want black women's main takeaway to be from this, is that it shouldn't have to get this bad, is what I'm saying. You shouldn't have to see this much literal proof to realize that somebody is probably still colorist, misogynistic, or whatever. If they're getting on stage to dance with misogynistic, abusive, colorist men, then they're probably that way too. That's all you should need to know. And I feel like a lot of black women give a lot of passes out to the girls because they don't see a lot of literal things, that can be classified under the label misogynoir or misogyny or, colorism or whatever, because you don't see anything literal or because you don't see anything super direct and mean, you don't think that these people can be like that. It's like, and then you're like, oh, I'm still going to support them because, they didn't say anything out of the way. And then when it comes out that they said something out of the way, then that's when you want to turn around and cancel them. No, you should have already done that. Yeah, I know. A lot of the girls still support Chris Brown. And if you notice, I don't go out of my way to defend them either. Mm-mm. I just talked about behind the wall. I won't say everything that I said, but I just talked about Anuck Yai doing that video with Ice Spice. I'm side-eyeing her too. I'm not going to be jumping to defend these people who are colorist apologists and who go on to support these colorist men who discriminate against dark-skinned women. I don't jump to defend those women. Keke Palmer, as you can see, I don't be jumping to defend her anymore either. I don't do it. Like, I don't be playing when it comes to that. I may, do videos defending the girls once or twice, and then when they come out and start apologizing for colorist people or start working with colorist people who they know for a fact don't like dark-skinned women, and just take colorism out of it if they're abusers. Like Keke Palmer, she got too many offenses. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you interviewing Jonathan Majors, it's just too much. You coming out with videos, talking about, you know, trying to get black women to date down and deal with broke men. Like, you're doing too much. And so at that point, I'm like, I can't do it. It's not my fight anymore after that. It's above me now. Okay. Mm-hmm. A lot of sometimes often says they want to be accepted so bad as if support from other dark skinned black women isn't enough. Yep. That's why, you know, certain things that y'all be telling me to talk about, I don't talk about because I'm not about to go out my way to defend these people who deal with colors. Yeah, Rihanna's another one. Yep. I don't go out of my way to, and I'm talking about like outwardly supporting people. Like, you know, passively, because you can't cancel everybody, you know, especially when it comes to the music industry. You know, with corporations and certain brands, it's impossible to cancel everybody because you know, you would be listening to music at all because everybody's connected to somebody who's a colorist, who's a misogynistic, who's abusing people. You can't completely cancel everybody. But, you know, when I say that I'm canceling somebody, it means that I am not directly supporting them on my platform. I'm not shouting them out. I'm not promoting their products, stuff like that. I'm very selective with my support. Because a lot of y'all, you know, under that Victoria's Secret video, you were like, but Savage Fenty does this and Savage Fenty is better and Savage Fenty, girl, and Savage Fenty is pandering just like Victoria's Secret. And I was going to talk about this in another video, you know, perhaps, but I'll talk about it now. You know, Victoria's Secret, Savage Fenty is no different, y'all. I know that you, you know, Rihanna's catering to dark skinned women and shades and makeup shades for dark skinned women. And that's great. Like, you know, she employs dark skinned models, she hires dark skinned models, but it's pandering from her too. It's the same thing. It's no different. So if you guys support Savage Fenty pandering, then support Victoria's Secret. Like, to me, they're one and the same. Just because Rihanna did it first, you know, and really, you know, put that kind of, I guess, business model on the map. Was that very strategic and smart professionally and business wise? Absolutely. But it's pandering nonetheless. I mean, she's married to a colorist. Yeah. So is it great that, yeah, she's hiring dark skinned models and, you know, putting them on the map and, you know, putting them, centering them more, I guess, than a brand like Victoria's Secret? Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm not knocking her for that. Like, that's what's up. But am I going to make her superior than all these other brands who are racist and pandering and doing the same thing? No. No. So that's my stance on it. And for me, like, I guess I just want black women to get to a point to where you start taking colorism just as seriously as you do racism. You need to take it just as seriously. And I feel like most black women don't, and that's unfortunate. hmm Yeah, I agree, Donna. It is just business. But my thing is, I am not going to. I'm not going to hold colorist people to a lower standards than I hold racist people. Like, I just don't do that. Like, for me, I don't tolerate either one. I don't tolerate racism and I don't tolerate colorism. And if I decide to be lenient with a brand while knowing that there's somebody involved that's, you know, colorist or racist or whatever, I'm going to treat them the same. It's not going to be, oh, I'm going to put this brand over the other because it's black owned. No, if they're black owned and colorist, in my mind, they're just as bad as somebody being, you know, a company being racist that's pandering to black people and black women and dark skinned women. It's the same to me. Now, if I decide to accept them because, you know, they're correctively promoting a dark skinned woman and I'm like, okay, you still full of shit, but I'll accept that because at least, you're promoting dark skinned women correctly. Yeah, that's fine. Right? But it's not going to be a situation where I'm in denial about it or I'm, thinking they're more superior because they're black. And I think that black women have a really hard time with that. We see these black brands and we're like, oh, they can't be colorist because look, Anuk Yai is right in the front and center. That doesn't mean anything, y'all. just like a white company can use somebody as use a dark skinned person or a black person as a token. Black companies do that too. Black Rhetoric says she did not apologize for her previous tweets. She preemptively said my old tweets would get me in trouble and I used to do stuff I wouldn't do now. So she didn't really apologize, is what you're saying. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, and look, I'm not even saying I'm perfect, y'all. I listen to colorist music. I don't promote it. I don't buy it. Okay. Baby, y'all know I'm the torrent queen, okay? I don't follow these people on social media. You would never know. But yeah, have I listened to a colorist on my playlist when I'm working out? Yeah. But I'm not going to promote that. You're never going to know that. Am I going to go to their shows? Am I going to contribute? No. So it's like, that's another thing. Like, you got to be strategic about it. Like, even if you do, let's just say, you have a colorist rapper that you like to listen to. Nobody has to know that. You don't have to promote them. You don't have to follow them on social media. You know? Listen, I have industry friends, okay? Producers, artists. You think I don't know colorist people in the industry? Absolutely. I know some of them personally. Am I ever going to promote them on my channel, on my platform? No. Now, if they want to pay me for my services, am I going to allow them to pay me? Yeah, I sure am. But am I going to promote them? No. Am I going to put money in their pockets? No. Not if, at least not without getting mine. So, what I'm saying is there are workarounds. Are you going to be able to just completely stop supporting any and everybody in a racist colorist society that's racist and colorist? No. But there's workarounds and there are ways that you can pedestalize people and center people who are not colorist and who are not racist. There are ways that you can do that. So that's all I'm suggesting that you do. And that includes when somebody like me is doing a video and I'm telling you that, hey, it's not a good look for black women to dance with abusive colorist men like Chris Brown. It's not your job to jump in the comment section and defend said abusive colorist men like Chris Brown. Like, that's when you start to look crazy, ladies. That's all I'm saying. Now, yeah, sure, listen to Chris Brown's music in private. Do what you want to do. But defending him on public platforms, that's just a little crazy. That's when it gets to be a little much. But nobody has to know, if you like, I get it. That's gonna happen. But like jumping up to defend him and swooning over him and then paying $1,000 to take pictures with him, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like with Chris Brown, for me, it's easy. It's easy for me not to listen to his music. His music, in my opinion, is not even good anymore. I like that one song. I forgot the name of it, where he's talking about Robitussin. And I kind of like the melody of that one, but even that one, it's just like it's take or leave. You know what I mean? Like I think his music was better when he was a kid. when he was younger. So now it's easy for me not to support him. It's easy, honestly. It's easy for me to not support most colorist people in the industry, to be honest with you. Because most of the music is just not good. Now, if you tell me I have to stop supporting Michael Jackson, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Because that's my favorite artist, okay? I love me some Michael Jackson. Now, was he touching on them little kids? I don't know, but if you tell me I have to stop listening to his music, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. Now, am I going to defend Michael Jackson? No. He's a weirdo too. He's weird. He was weird. And the way he kept fucking with his nose like that, I mean, just he's not a normal person. You know, he was a weirdo. But did he make some good music? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm speaking as someone who also has contradictions. Like, I'm not perfect, you know? Y'all say he was a bit peculiar. I can't. See, and this is what I'm saying. Cream Brulee says, leave the king of pop alone, please. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to defend him. Like, you know what I mean? That's the point here. Like, do I love Michael Jackson's music? Yeah, but will I ever defend him as a person? Fuck no. So it's like, that's what I mean, ladies. Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you don't have to, you didn't personally know that man, you know? And I get it. I get it. But, you don't have to do all that. He was a weirdo. He gave all his wealth to white people. He ain't even like, girl. His mama, I'll say his mama, I think she got most of his wealth. His mama. And the rest went to all them white people. At least his mama got most of it. At least his mama got some. Okay. But he was a weirdo. Oh, all of the Jacksons did? Okay, well, that's good. That's good. But they all kind of weird, though. I feel like Janet might be the most normal one. Janet might. She might be the most normal. But they all weird, though. Anyway, to wrap this part of the live stream up, I just learn how to be neutral, ladies. You don't have to defend Kayla, and you also, you don't have to agree with her. You don't have to take sides. You don't have to side with the Swifties. You don't have to side with Kayla. Like, you can be neutral. It's okay. You can be indifferent. That's it. And she's probably still colorist. I think she probably is. But am I totally outraged by this? No, I just have to be honest. I'm not. Okay, so who is next? Let's go. Child, I don't know why my screenshots look raggedy. I apologize. It's because there's no background. Okay. Um, Olandria's Alexander Wang campaign. My girl is working. Olandria is working. And so this particular photo recently went viral, and Olandria is currently doing a collaboration with Alexander Wang. And when I saw this, I knew it was like some kind of ad or a PR stunt for the brand, especially when I saw the handbag. I was like, oh, she's doing something with Alexander Wang, right? And this was a pretty clever strategy from Alexander Wang because it got people talking. A lot of people were going around like, oh my God, Olandria is cheating on Nick. And when did she get a new man? And it was just a lot of chaos going on the internet. And you know that everybody already thinks that Olandria and Nick are fake. And so it was just this big thing. And I was looking at this, I'm like, y'all don't know an ad when y'all see one? Y'all don't know a PR stunt when you see one? Like, I just think people are, I just don't know. I'm like, is the internet this slow? Like, no wonder I have to come on here and break down the most basic things, because like I can look at this and tell that I can even tell that he's a model. Like, does he not look like a model? Like, I knew this was an ad. One criticism I do have of this, and I felt like this when Olandria was on Love Island as well. I don't like the way they do her blush. And I know there's a whole like thing going on about like blush blindness and how the girls are blind to their blush. I don't like that. It's just a little too highlighted for me. I don't know. I'm not real heavy with makeup anyway, so it's just not really my thing like that. But either way, she does look beautiful. I just wish they would like ease up on the blush a little bit. you know, um, but either way, I thought they looked wonderful. And this does, I mean, it does kind of give, like, oh my God, is this a relationship? But I knew, I could tell, right? But baby, Ola is out here working. She's getting them big brand deals, and I'm here for it. She is such good promotion for dark skinned Black women, and I'm obsessed. I am totally obsessed. And I also like that she's being promoted with different races of men. I like that too. I like that she's not getting typecast or put in a box. I really like that, and I hope they continue with that. Like, I hope they continue with promoting her with a variety of men, not even just all races. Like, I'm okay with all races. I love that she's getting a bunch of multicultural promotion. I like that. And I was watching some TikTok video about this from a Huda stan. I'm not gonna play her video. I don't want to give her any promotion because I really don't like her. But she made a video on this, and I saw where some people in her comments were upset about Ola working with Alexander Wang because apparently, which I didn't know this, but apparently Alexander Wang has been accused of SA in the past by multiple people, right? And so that was like the top comment. And if you guys know who I'm talking about, like, this girl, she went hard for Huda like the whole season of Love Island, USA season 7. And the top comment under that TikTok was like, oh, she worked with Alexander Wang, who was accused of SA. And listen, I'm not saying that that's not fucked up, and I'm not saying that that should be ignored, right? But so many celebrities have worked with Alexander Wang since those accusations. And this is my first time really hearing any complaints. As soon as Olandria starts working with Alex, then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, what about his SA accusations? Well, were you saying that when he was working with all these other celebrities that you like? All these other white celebrities that you like? That was after he was accused of SA? Like, because again, I haven't really heard too much about that. Right. I didn't know anything about those allegations. And so it's giving once again fake outrage because this beautiful dark-skinned Black woman is getting this massive brand deal with this well-renowned brand that everybody knows about, very, very popular, high luxury. And let's just be honest, y'all are mad. And this goes back to what I always say about how when Black women, especially unambiguous dark-skinned Black women, jump in to play the game, all of a sudden we're making up new rules. All of a sudden, we want to be moral about the situation. When it's fake morality, that's what it is. All of this is fake. Nobody really cares about that man's SA allegations. Nobody gives a fuck. Y'all are still buying his stuff. You're still buying his bags. Let's just be honest. All the white people still buying his bags. You don't give a damn about them allegations. And then also, isn't that what y'all was saying Huda was doing in the villa? Wasn't she accused of essaying Chris? So since when have y'all cared about that? Exactly. That's coerce. That's what they said. Green Silver says, didn't Huda coerce someone on TV? Exactly. And so it's like, we not about to play these games with y'all. Y'all are mad that Ola is completely leveling up over everybody in the villa. And in my opinion, she gets the classiest brand deals, the most high fashion brand deals, the most elevated luxury brand deals. I mean, she is out here looking so damn good. And I put these other pictures in here. Look at her and Nick. Fine. Both of them fine. Look at this. It's time for me to do another corrective promotion short because wow. She looks incredible. She looks amazing. And that color on her. And I just feel like the stylist, like, does she have a stylist? I think she has a couple of stylists. They're doing like they're in sync with the seasons, the colors, the fall colors. I mean, everything is just popping. I mean, she looks amazing. I don't know the designer of this dress, but wow, she looks like a Barbie. She looks like one of those holiday Barbies that, you just keep in the box on top of the bookshelf. That's what she looks like. I mean, gorgeous. And her and Shelly, Shelly's dress was beautiful too. Oh my God. I'm sorry. What award show was this? I can't even remember. I know Olandria won an award. But wow, they just look incredible. Beautiful. And look at this. This is a custom Brandon Blackwood dress. I know this one because I saw her with Brandon Blackwood. With the clutch, with the purse. Beautiful color, in season fall. Oh, just gorgeous. The hair, the brown hair. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to Ace in a minute. But yeah, I just had to say, I mean, she is just stunning. Beautiful. No complaints. So I can understand why they're mad. I can understand why they're trying to find things to bring her down. Nothing is working. Nothing's working. Like, so far, nothing is working. All the attacks on her and Nick, all the attacks on her personally, nothing has been working. She just keeps elevating. She just keeps going higher and higher. And this is why I keep saying, like, what's for you is for you. Like, people can't take what's yours. If it's meant to be yours, it's going to be yours. So I'm just so happy for her. I can't wait to see what's next from her. Like, it's just, she's one of those people that you can't wait to see what's next. And then also, like, she doesn't give much. Like, her and Nick will pop out, or she'll pop out and they'll go back into hiding for like a month. And then all of a sudden pop out again, and just all these beautiful pictures and, photo ops, and they on the red carpet. It's like, damn, they look good. And so it's just like, it's like you're always wanting more from them. And I love that. I love that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's next. And I don't think yeah, she is a Gemini. She's such a Gemini. Very versatile. Telling y'all, Geminis be running shit. Love that for her. I was gonna say, I don't think the actual Alexander Wang campaign has actually come out, so I'm excited to see what they did, or has it? I don't know, because I didn't see it before I did this video. Now they know good damn well Olandria don't have no BBL. Stop playing. No. Yes, Gigi. I know that's right. She says they only come out to get paid. That's brilliant. Exactly. And we live in the era of social media where everybody just wants to see everything about you. But that mysteriousness, it still works. It still works when you give a little bit, you give some little crumbs and then you pull back, that still works. It leaves people wanting more. Yeah, you can tell her body's not fake. Come on. Yeah, I talked about that. Chomalong. I don't know how you say that, but yeah, I talked about that in the last live stream. I talked about Huda losing her brand deal. Was that in the last live? Yeah, the last public live stream, I believe. Yeah, I talked about that already. Yep, and that's what she gets. Yeah, her and her team have been very, very strategic, and I want them to keep being strategic. I don't want Olandria to come on and say too much. I like that she's a little bit private and only says just enough. I hope she keeps that up. I don't want her to come online and start oversharing. No, it's nobody's business. Her or Nick. I don't want them either of them to do that. I think that what they're doing now, the strategy they have now is perfect. Yeah, Pink Lady says, I think people forget black women have fabulous natural bodies. Yeah, especially when we're fit. For sure. Yep. So yeah, that's that. Now, I wanted to talk about Ace quickly. Because Ace said that everybody is cool. He said that, and I did a video on this. If you want to go back and watch it, I did a live stream on how Ace was on that nigga podcast, which I should say half nigga podcast because Speedy is mixed. I didn't know Speedy was mixed. Y'all was all in the comments like, Speedy's not black, Chrissy. I didn't know that man was biracial. I didn't know. I don't know Speedy. I don't watch his show. But he was on that half niggas podcast talking about how Olandria and Nick were fake, and he was bringing up a conversation he had with Nick while he was in the villa. Well, according to what he just said, I think this was Revolt who interviewed him at whatever award show they were at. He says that everything is cool with him and Nick and Olandria. Pineapple Island says the obsession these broads have with Ola is weird. I low-key feel like half of them just want to eat her meow meow. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe so. I be thinking that about me too. I be like, dang, do y'all have a crush on me? Because y'all, a lot of people are obsessed with me on this app. I feel like, dang, either I fucked your man or you want to eat my coochie. One of the two, like, because y'all are weird. So, yeah, I think I pick up on that energy, too. I think some of them low-key really be having crushes on the people they be hating on, for real. So, let's play this video.
And Ola, cool? Are y'all good?
Hold on.
And Ola, are y'all cool? Are y'all good? Are the relationships still the same? Are they different?
Been cool since end of August. We've been cool. Behind the scenes, nobody.
Hold on, y'all. Let me start.
And Ola, are y'all cool? Are y'all good? Are the relationships still the same? Are they different?
Been cool since end of August. We've been cool. Behind the scenes, nobody gets to see the relationships that we build, and not everything hits the net. So everybody assumes we're all either beefing with each other, not cool with each other. It's all love, it's all peace. And that's one thing I love about our friendships.
Things are sometimes addressed publicly that then end up being resolved privately. Would you like to address it publicly?
I'm a huge fan of addressing things, apologies, everything publicly, you know what I mean? But things go on behind closed doors where certain people don't want you to address certain things, publicly. So again, I'm more of a people person. I like to be on the same page as the person. I'm a firm believer in if you're gonna do something public, apologize. And trust me when I say I believe that wholeheartedly, but I respect everybody's wishes. I'll just say that.
Okay, so Ace said everybody is cool, but Ace, you were super loud when you were on that podcast with Speedy. So if you were loud, why is my picture showing up weird? Girl. What is going on? Sorry. My whole thing is this. If you were on that podcast publicly trashing. I mean, I guess I shouldn't use the word trash, but you were super loud when you went on Speedy's podcast and accused Ola and Nick of being fake, which led up to Ola getting attacked more than she already was outside of the villa. So if y'all made up, you need to be just as public about that too, in my opinion. And I kind of feel like, Olandria and Nick, maybe I don't know. I'm pretty sure they had a conversation about it. Maybe Olandria and Nick told him he didn't have to do all that because they were trying to be nice about it. But no, he should have done that publicly. If you apologized, you should have apologized publicly. And you didn't. And this whole time, we've been questioning, okay, well, are Ola and Shelly still cool? Is everybody cool? Are they beefing? Whatever. Like, we've been questioning I don't think I actually questioned it. I just kind of thought, okay, well, if your man is at odds with your friend, then naturally that usually means that you're going to be at odds with your friend too. And I think that even with Ola and Shelly, even if there's some tension there, they're going to put on their Joker face. They're going to pose for the camera and be cute. They're not going to fight publicly, which I appreciate that about them. I think that's a classy way to do it. But there still could be some animosity there, but I think they have a more business relationship now, which maybe that's best for them. Let me get to this super chat. Lady Lounge says, I think black women should always respond with, I'm just black, when people ask why our bodies are so nice. They need to know we have good genes, period. I know that's right. Let's see. Pineapple Island says Ace's real life omegus. What is that? Yeah, I think that Ola and Nick are trying to keep the peace. They don't want to beef in public. They don't want things to get too messy. Ace obviously sees, that Nick and Ola are thriving right now. They're on fire right now, especially Olandria. So, he doesn't want to publicly beef with them for that reason. And I feel like he got a lot of pushback, a lot of backlash for, what he said on Speedy's interview. So, of course, he's going to try to kind of come out and say, oh, we're all good. It's all good. Because he doesn't want to look any more jealous than he already looked. So, it's business, it's strategy. They're doing what they have to do, which, whatever. I guess I can respect that. But if Ace was really about that life and he was really standing on business, he would apologize publicly. But he's young, he's immature, so you can't expect much from that. Oh, Pineapple Island says, and omegus is those little things from the game Among Us. Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Okay. I have to look that up. Y'all are stupid. Why y'all roasting him? That is so funny. Miss Callie says more head than he got body ass. I'm so done. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on that. I found it to be interesting because I'm like, no, he ain't talking about they cool. Like, ugh, I don't like people like that. Like, you cause all this chaos in public and then you want to privately apologize or you want to privately talk it out. No, that's not cool. That's not cool. So, yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Now, the next thing is, I want to clarify some things from my last video. Now, there were a lot of varying opinions under my last video, okay? A lot of people had their opinions. A lot of people had different opinions, which I think that's great. Like, I think I like to see that because that means not all of my supporters think the same, right? But I did notice that there were a couple of demographics that were upset, and basically this was about my video. What's it called? I gotta go back. Y'all know, because I forget my videos as soon as I do them. It's called "Why Women Think Having a Boyfriend is Embarrassing." It was about this British Vogue article that this woman wrote about where she interviewed a lot of women and asked them why they don't post their boyfriends or their husbands or whatever. And so I went into why I think that's the case in that video. I felt that video was very balanced. Like, I got love for everybody, single, married, whatever. Like, I'm cool with everybody, okay? But apparently there were still some men and women that found a way to be upset by that video. And the only thing I can think of is that some of you got triggered about what I said about miserable married women and women who are with men who embarrass them. But listen, if that doesn't actually apply to you, then you should not be offended, right? There was a comment about the woman who wrote the Vogue article. I think her name is Shantae. I forget her last name. Or it's right here. Shantae Joseph. Okay. And she was like, oh, well, she started out being a pick-me, and she was, she used to talk a lot about dating, and she switched up. Yeah, a lot of women do that. A lot of women start out romanticizing men, romanticizing relationships when we're young. And then when we grow up and we realize the nature of most men and we grow out of romanticizing relationships, right? And we look at the reality of most relationships, or even after we learn ourselves better and we decide, hey, I don't want that, we change our minds. Sometimes it really is that simple. Sometimes women just change their minds, right? It's not that we're trying to impress other women or be pick-me's for other women, because that's what that woman said in that comment, right? It's not that we've been traumatized and scorned by men and mad that we can't get the kind of man that we want. Some of us genuinely, we don't have that problem. Right? Now, some of you, I feel like, who have built your whole lives around being in a relationship, which I don't actually find anything is wrong with that. Like, if you feel like being a wife and a mother is your purpose, I think that's fine. But some of y'all try to force that onto other women because that's what you want, right? And some of you who want every woman to live like you want us to have all these problems that we don't have. And you're diagnosing us with all these problems that we don't have. And I feel like some of y'all were also trying to project that onto me under that video. But contrary to what some people believe, I don't have a lot of traumatizing dating experiences with men. I've never come on here and said any of that. So, you guys putting all these words in my mouth. Oh, you've been hurt by men and they've done you dirty. I want you to pull up the video where I've ever said that. Pull up the video where I've ever talked about my dating life and complained about it and complained about all these horrible men doing me dirty and cheating on me and dragging me and all. You need to pull up the video. Lady Lounge says, Chrissy, when you get a chance, let's talk about how Sydney Sweeney doubled down on the Jean ad. Black women can learn a lot about unapologetically putting our image first. Yeah, send me. Did she do a video or something? Send it to me. Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking about that because I didn't know she doubled down. But yeah, back to what I was saying. You can't project your shit onto me. And I'm going to need you to show me the video. Yeah, all this, who hurt you? Like, did I ever get up on here and say, oh, he broke my heart and this is why I'm never going to date men again? Have you ever heard that from me? Have you ever? Because I'm going to need y'all to pull up the videos if I've ever said that. And see, me criticizing trash men on my channel, keyword trash, me criticizing trash men on my channel and these weirdos from the manosphere that I would never date on my channel, and me refusing to cape for the collective of black men who do not cape for the collective of black women. Me criticizing those men has nothing to do with my personal love life. And I feel like because a lot of you are in this weird parasocial relationship with me, which is one-sided, by the way, okay? You think you know me and you think you know my life because you've heard what I said on my channel, but you don't. I haven't shared enough of my personal life for you to know anything about it. Okay? Just because I drag these weirdos online and I don't like these men online, it doesn't mean I don't have men in my life who take care of me and who love me. That just means I'm not a mammy. That's what that means. And it's a big difference. Right? I'm not about to cape for the collective of black men to prove to a bunch of weirdos online and a bunch of unhappily married people that I don't hate men. Y'all are not that important to me. You're not. I don't care if you think I'm a misandrist. I don't care. I'm not about to try to prove to you that I'm not. Like, do you realize that you don't mean anything to me? And we got to talk about this more, you guys. We have to talk about this weird parasocial relationship that a lot of these people are in with me. And I didn't think that it was that deep before, but no, these people are parasocially attached to me, and it's weird. And some of you want to believe that I and other black women who choose to be single, you want to believe because it makes you feel better. You want to believe that we have all this trauma from men or that something is wrong with every single woman who chooses to be single because you don't like being single. But every woman is not you, sis, and we don't want to live like you, and that's okay. And I need married people, and especially black married people and black people who are in relationships. You need to understand that some women want to be single. Some of us change our minds about relationships. Sometimes we want a relationship in our 20s, and then when we get in our 30s, we don't want that anymore. Right? And if we want to get married in our 20s and then change our minds in our 30s when we get older and we know ourselves better, that's okay. Women are allowed to change their minds. And I'm not saying that some women don't change their minds because of trauma from men, but that's not everybody's story. That's not everybody's story. And something I want to say to black women is this. One thing I've observed about most men, and especially black men, and let me know if you guys have noticed this. Black men especially, they don't shame other men for being single. They can be married and everything. They don't shame other men for being single. At least they don't shame them as much as women shame other women for being single, right? They kind of let other men do their thing. They also don't shame men for changing their minds and choosing to be single after their failed relationships. How many black men are shaming Neo for being married or, engaged rather, and then getting into a polyamorous relationship? Black men really aren't shaming him like that. Right? Now, I'm not stupid. Obviously, being married, especially by a certain age, is more socially acceptable, right? Especially the higher you go up in class. If you work at a certain company or you're trying to get a promotion or whatever, people do factor in that kind of thing, believe it or not. So I'm not stupid when it comes to that. I get it, right? It's more socially acceptable to be married. But I mostly see this kind of forceful shaming and harassment of single black women coming from poor black people online. And here's why I think that that's happening, right? I think it's because they feel like marriage is their only flex because they have nothing else to flex about. Right? The community's trash. Most of the men are trash. So the only thing they have to really dangle and flex is their ring and their marriage. That's it. And I also think it has a lot to do with black women's marriage rates being lower than other races of women. And I think black women, we feel like we need marriage to be valuable. And I totally get it. I can empathize with that as a black woman. I used to feel that way too when I was younger, in my 20s, right? But y'all got to be careful about projecting your Blackistan trauma onto all Black women. We don't all want the same things. Okay? And that's okay. And listen, y'all will never be able to convince me that you're happily married if you spend most of your time stalking and harassing single women who are content with being single, women such as myself. If you have entire pages dedicated to trolling and harassing and doxing me and doxing other Black women, I'm sorry, you're weird. And if you're married, if you're a married woman doing something like that, no, I will never believe that you're happily married. I just don't believe you. Okay, I don't. And I never will. And let's not forget that you weird, miserable married bitches, you came to me. You started fucking with me, the single woman. Okay? This is why I say y'all are forceful and you're weird. I didn't come to you. You came to me, the single, so-called fat, ugly femcel. I didn't come to you. You came to me. And I don't see happily married women online stalking and harassing single, fat, ugly femcels. I don't see that from the happily married women in my life. So no, you don't appear to be happy, and you'll never convince me that you're happy. You're doing too much for me to think you're happy. So, you can keep talking, doing videos, creating your little side pages where you dedicate to stalking people. That's weird, and you don't look happy doing that. I never in my 10 years of being on YouTube have I created a whole page on YouTube to stalking somebody. I've never done that. I've never written books about people that I don't like, that I don't agree with their opinion on YouTube. I've never done that. And when it's married women doing that, yeah, you look miserable. And I'm going to think that you're miserable. Sorry. Maybe if you behaved like a happily married person, then I would believe that you were happy, but you don't behave that way. Yeah, these women are unhinged. They are. And on the other hand, they're saying, oh, but I'm happily married. You don't seem that way. It doesn't seem that way. Simply Breezy says, some women are male-centered but aren't female-centered. I don't even care if they aren't female-centered. But when you start stalking and harassing people, you're weird. That's just it. Yeah, so I just wanted to get that out the way. And look, we as women, we have to be tolerant of each other's choices. Like, not all of us are going to live the same. We're not. And that's okay. Like, not all of us are going to have the same life. And we as women have to be okay with that. We as Black women have to be okay with that. I know you guys want to challenge all these stigmas that Black women are unmarriageable. That's fine. Do that with the women who actually want marriage and who actually are committal. But, trying to convince me that I want your life, somebody like me, y'all need to look up Venus and Gemini. Listen, I'm not committal. Okay? You can't force me to want your life. I just don't want it. I don't want to live with a man. I don't want that life. Do I like dating men? Yeah. Do I like being wined and dined by men? Yes. Do I like having sex with men? Yes. Yes. But do I want a man full time in my space all the time? No, I don't want that. Do I want children? Never wanted children. Never wanted that. Not because of any trauma or anything. I just don't want children. Since I've been very young, I knew that I never wanted that. So there is no biological clock. Like, you can't rub it in my face that I'm past my prime and that my eggs are scrambled and all the other shit y'all say to older women who don't have kids. I'm glad they're scrambled. I need them to be scrambled. I ain't trying to get pregnant. What you thought, that I wanted? Like, you think I want that? No. Please scramble my eggs. Please. And thank you. Throw some cheese in them motherfuckers too. Cause I don't want kids. Never have. Do I think they're cute? I love the little baby cheeks and the big old baby eyes. Yeah, they're adorable. But when I see babies, I think of like bills and Yeah, all that stuff, the like cleaning up after them and just being responsible for another human being. It doesn't sound appealing to me. Now, am I going to shame another woman for wanting that? No, because I understand it's a biological urge for most women. Have your babies if you want them. But when you start trying to force me, that's when I have an issue. That's when it becomes weird. Girl, I'm waiting for the day that I'm not fertile anymore so I can start having. Never mind. This is not Christy After Dark. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Oh, Mr. Super Chat. Lady Lounge says a marriage is inherently work. Even when people have money, it can be work emotionally and all. It's only a flex when a woman is uplifted and has her boundaries reduced. Yeah. And listen. There are women out there who are, I know personally, who are in beautiful marriages. Like, and when I see them, I just feel so happy for them. So I'm not a hater. So, I don't have an issue with happily married women. It's you miserable weird bitches that are stalking me that I don't like. That's all. I don't have a problem with you being married or wanting a family. None of that. Like, we get it. Just stop being weird. That's all. And go find your happiness because you're clearly not happy. That's all I'm saying. And it's not my fault. It's not my fault. This whole parasocial connection you have with me, maybe you need to go to therapy to get over that, but I'm just a YouTuber. You don't know me personally, so let's stop acting like you do. It's weird. It's creepy. Honestly, it's creepy. Truly. Yeah, Faye says, do not have kids if you don't want kids. You will live a life of resentment. And, I've heard all my life, too. People be like, oh, you're going to change your mind when you turn 35. Girl, past 35, still have not changed my mind. Oh, you're going to change your mind when you're in your 40s. Okay. Okay. Well, still haven't changed my mind. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But let's just say if I change my mind, I'll adopt. I'll just adopt. If I ever were to change my mind. I probably won't. I'm pretty sure I won't. But I have no problem with adopting. So, there are options even if I do change my mind. Now, again, am I going to? No. But in the rare event that I do change my mind, that's what I would do. Listen, I'm so anti-kid and anti-taking care of another, living thing. I don't even have animals because they're too much work. And my niece was like, TT, why don't you get a dog? Because you have to take care of them like people. You have to take them to the vet. They get sick like little people. When they die, you sad and shit. You got to mourn them. Oh, hell no. I don't have time for that. No, thank you. I don't want that. And then on top of that, they be fucking up your furniture and your belongings. I don't have time for that. No. Again, do I think animals are cute? Yeah. But do I want one for myself? No. Yeah, then you got to train the dog. Oh, no. And I'm one of those people, I'm very nosy. I look at different things on the internet. I'm in all kind of different corners of the internet. And I watch those weird cat videos. Them cats are off the chain. How they be like knocking stuff over and them motherfuckers are mischievous. I didn't know they were doing all that, but those cats are wild. If I were to have an animal, it'd probably be a dog, a small dog. But no, I don't want that. Yeah, and then the last thing I wanted to address really quickly, I want to clarify my comments that I made on my last live stream because some of you were a little bit confused about that too. I made the comment that most of the women who follow me are not on food stamps. Listen, I was not saying that all of my subscribers were like rich and balling out of control or anything like that. I know that some women here are on food stamps. Like, I'm not stupid, right? But my point is, statistically, most black women are not on food stamps. The numbers actually show that it's mostly white people who are on government assistance, right? That's my point here. And so it's not like I was like saying that to brag or anything, or like, I mean, I just had to say that because some people were like upset about that. And it's like I was not throwing shade. Like, girl, if you're on food stamps, congratulations. I need some extra money too. But like I was saying that most of the people who follow me are not on food stamps. And I feel like most of the people who get government assistance aren't really in these conversations. I'm also aware that everybody on government assistance is not hood or, you know, has a particular look, right? But my point was those black women in the hood on welfare, on food stamps, generally aren't in these conversations. And that's just the truth. Those women are somewhere following Blueface and Krishan, right? They find these kind of discussions stupid and boring. So, you know, there's a certain caliber of women who follow me, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but it is. M Love Black says, same. Pet sitting my relatives' dogs occasionally enough for me. I don't like getting up early. Yeah. Agreed. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, and I get the stereotypes, and I wasn't trying to like reinforce any stereotypes or anything like that. I was talking about a particular demographic of people who I know are not in these conversations. Now, if you are listening to me and you are on food stamps and you didn't get your benefits, I definitely recommend that you visit, I think it's feedingamerica.org, and see where the local food banks are in your area. And also, if you haven't already, go to your local churches, okay? My friend's father has a church. I volunteered at an event and I helped them pass out groceries to all of the people who didn't get their SNAP benefits or got a reduced amount. And also black families who were affected by the government shutdown in general. Like he put together a whole event for all the people who were affected by that. And I did volunteer at that event. I helped buy a lot of the groceries. And I also saw where a lot of churches in general, they're giving out food weekly, y'all. They're giving out food to people who don't have it like that. They're giving out food every single week. They're giving away turkeys for Thanksgiving and food for the holidays. So going to churches is a good resource. Yeah. Yeah, my mama's friend, because you know my mama and her friends, they all still go to. I don't go to church anymore. You know, I'll go to help out and do things because you know I know people who have churches or whatever. But y'all know I'm really not into church like I used to be. But you know I will help with the events. And one of my mom's friends, he called and he was like, "You know anybody needs some turkeys?" I mean, they giving away these big turkeys too. Big juicy turkeys. So yeah. Oh, is anybody boycotting the holidays? Because I know you know there's a boycott going on where like people are doing like a blackout for the holidays and they're not shopping with anybody for Thanksgiving and Christmas because the whole you know government shut down and people losing their food stamps and stuff. I don't know if I can actually do that because my family ain't about to do that, girl. They not. I mean, I would, but girl, my family is not about to do that. Now we already don't really celebrate Christmas. Like, I mean, we don't do the whole gift giving thing, and I cut that shit off a long time ago because I told y'all about that. Where because it seemed like me and my mama were really the main ones doing everything, and I told her I wasn't gonna do it no more. Okay, like I'll cook, but all that gift giving and us being the main ones spending money, no, we're not doing that. So we don't really exchange gifts anymore on Christmas. We do on birthdays and stuff like that, but not specifically on Christmas. But we still cook and stuff. So, and we also still go to like the festivities too. So I don't know. I don't know if I can actually do that. Now I'll be able to like not shop, but to actually boycott everything, girl, I don't know. I mean, it's a nice idea, but girl, is it realistic? Is it realistic for most people is what I'm saying. Yeah. See, and what really gets me, like, I've never been into like, well, I think when I was younger, I was more into the whole gift giving thing, But now that I'm older and I have my own place, it's the decorations that get me. It's the home decor. That's the part where I spend money. But I have enough. I don't need to buy anything, really. And it's like, even if you don't necessarily agree with it, like, I feel like it doesn't really matter what political party you belong to, what political side of the spectrum that you're on or whatever. You should at the very least agree that nobody should go hungry during the holidays. Nobody should, this should not be a time where people don't have food, don't have warm clothes, don't have a place to live. So it's little stuff like that I don't agree with. Now, we can talk about the different policies of the left and all that stuff. We can talk about all that I don't agree with. Y'all know I'm in the middle. I'm moderate politically. But I don't necessarily agree with a lot of what's happening. Yeah. And even if it doesn't affect you personally, especially when it comes to like the government assistance, like, honestly, I don't know too many people. I don't really know anybody personally that's on government assistance or that's on welfare or food stamps or whatever. But when I volunteered for that event, it was just, I guess it was just seeing all those people there at the same time, and knowing somebody who knows somebody. If you don't know somebody personally, you know somebody who knows somebody that's affected by it. So I just encourage you guys to help out wherever you can. If anything, just donate to these organizations. I think Feeding America has a link where you can donate. Send money to the churches, when they're having these events. Help them buy groceries. Donate food to the food banks. Because as a single person, I waste a lot of food. So I'm always sending food to the food bank anyway. Because that's one thing. I don't like to waste food. So I'll always send the food that I don't use to somebody who needs it. If it's not my family, then it'll be a food bank or a church. Yeah, donate or volunteer. Yep. Yeah, just that girl says neutral politically, but no one should go hungry in America. I 100% agree. Oh, whatever. Sabrella says being a centrist is a cop out. Sorry. I don't think so. Because I don't think you can fully agree with one side or the other. I really don't. You can't agree with everything politically that one party does. It's impossible. If you're being honest. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about politics. I hate talking about politics, if you couldn't tell. But this was a nice discussion. I'll put the timestamps in the video later on. I am really tired. I have to make some phone calls. Yeah, we'll come back and we'll talk about some other stuff later on in the week. I'm going to be doing either another live stream or another video for Neptunian members and patrons next week sometime. So look forward to that. And again, if you are interested in my member patron videos, we've been getting it popping back there. So you have to be a Neptunian to get access to all of the member patron videos. So if you're interested in my exclusive content, the links to join are in the description box. And thank you guys so much for joining and engaging and all that stuff. Like, it seems like you guys are really feeling the live stream, so we're definitely going to do more of those. So yeah, you guys enjoy your week next week. I'll be back soon. If you're watching the replay, make sure you comment and let me know what you think about this topic. Be sure to like this video, share, and I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye.